one male child is worth more than 10 daughters. I'm not the one who said so. Anyways, a Facebook user has objected to a post from another user stating that daughters are as important as sons. Now, somebody went on Facebook and of course was advising families, you know, to begin to accept their female children because they are as important as male children. So if you don't have them, there's no need for you to panic. Meanwhile, this other man came on board to comment and he says, one male child is worth more than 10 daughters. Without a male child, your generation will go into extinction immediately you pass on. He also had support from a number of people who commented to let him know that they agree with his post. Now, it's the 21st century, you know, and we claim as Nigerians that we're so exposed, as it were. Isn't it shocking that there's still perhaps a few men or a few people out there who still have this kind of mindset? But what do you say, Pastor?
For me, I wouldn't say it's shocking because we know what social media is today. We have a lot of junk there. We have a lot of people who are dysfunctional, who have their own issues, who want to bring their issue and impose it on other people. They are all there on social media. So when you see things like this, for me, it's just one of those junk on social media that has just revealed himself to be who he is on social media. Because I don't see, let us look back to great men of the world, great men that's ever lived. The mark they left on earth is not about their children. It is about what they did, how they affect humanity themselves. We talk about
in their own generation.
We talk about Mother Teresa. She is a no, she never had any children. But look at the way she, as a woman, she affected lives, and I believe generations to come, we still talk about that woman. And we have a lot of men too that has lived. Maybe those of us in the Christian circle, we know the great generals of faith that have passed. They have never had children. We read, if all the epistles, majority of the epistles we read is written by a man that was never married, Paul. And we still talk about him. And so many in our generation. Why will Bill Gates die tomorrow and somebody will not remember Bill Gates tomorrow? You understand? Are they going to remember him because of the children? No, he has done something that will make people to remember him forever. I think the safest thing, the best thing for anybody to do is for you to invest on yourself so you can have something to offer to your generation so that your name can be on forever. Because we have people who have made children, who are drug addicts in the street, who are insane in the street, who has nothing to offer to the society. Yet we have women. We have people who are just women, and their women are the breadwinner of the society. They have men, they have women. The women became the breadwinner in the society. I think that kind of thought is archaic, is outdated. It should not be tolerated, should not be welcomed in any circle. So it doesn't make sense.
All right, Mr. Olushola, as much as I agree to a very large extent with what Pastor Dolly has said, but let us keep in focus the fact that this is Africa, where culturally speaking, you know, having a hair, so to say, that's a male child, you know, is as important as you being alive yourself. What do you say?
Everybody, as far as I'm concerned, will represent family. Being you male or female. Just like she just said, is archaic way of thinking. Despite, if we talk about tradition, where the background of Africa, recently I don't think any normal person can identify or have such mindset to say the male child worth more millions than a female. And that is where gender inequality sets in. And that is what we're trying to eradicate from our system, as in advocating and sensitizing the mindset of people. As far as I'm concerned, me, I worth more than 10 billions of male also in representing what I'm representing. Today, when you talk about Oprah Winfrey, she's a female, and so many other females that have actually touched life, that have done a lot more than. One thing I believe is the legacy you left behind that will actually tell how important you are. irrespective of your gender. Yeah.
All right, Pastor Ayola, what do you say?
Yeah, I think the poster of such comments is just relating to his own personal opinion. In this century, every children is very important.
Very, very important.
And God take everybody important. Even I used to say this, that God, the first female that was created was called an helper, which means without her, the male's life wouldn't have been complete. You know, so I take everybody very important, and I think such things should just be disregarded.
But I'm sorry, but let's talk about this just a little bit longer. This issue we're talking about is propagated the more by men who put women under pressure. Give me a male child, give me. I think we should begin to talk about the issues in having a male child in the first place. There are lots of meat out there. If you drink palm wine, if you eat banana, you have a male child. But we all know that's all bullshit, But the thing is, I think for people like you who do a lot of sensitization, let us channel the narrative towards letting the men know that they are the ones who are responsible for the sex of a baby. You understand? I know that in Africa you put the blame on the woman, but it is an error. It is an error. A woman reproduces what you have put in her. According to the makeup, okay, I'm going back to my science days. According to the makeup of a man, you are the one that is responsible for whether your wife has a male child or has a female child. So if your wife keeps giving you female children, Olga, it is your fault. It is not the woman's fault.
For real, it is not directly the man's responsibility. And that's why we need to have that understanding. It's divine.
I get that.
I have seen a situation whereby scan will say,
this is about, and then it will become a female, yes.
Or
twin.
Become twins. He's really good. And I think it's high time everybody get this understanding.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't want us to show to God what God is not God.
Okay.
Because if there is scan and the scan says it's a male, and finally it's scan error.
Error of science.
What was there initially was not.
No, that was
you get it wrong. And also, I want to say here that let us say it the way it is. Shebi science, we all be those watching, those men who are saying this, they believe in science. Science says, is it X and Y chromosomes?
Yes.
That the man has, the woman has
X. Yes.
So when the woman always release S, if the man release Y, the woman will have a male child. If the man release S, the woman will have a female child. So it is not God, it is the man it is what the man release.
I get what you're saying.
Who gives what the
God is the giver of children. I get what you're saying. Yes.
God gave man the ability to reprocreate. God, it's not like God is creating child every day. No. He has given us the responsibility to produce children. So let us not try to go so that if you see God.
You didn't get what I'm saying.
Okay, let me allow you land. Go ahead, quickly.
Whether you like it or not, even science has limitation.
They failed.
That's why they
said. Excuse me, madam. That's why you know that sometimes you look at it, what is happening all over this virus thing. What has it been doing to kill it? So don't let us look at that. I know what I'm talking about. Even science says that spermatozoids comes in the millions, but it's only one that gets to survive.
The lucky one.
And it's still not. What I'm trying to say is that if I, as a man, I have this understanding that it is not my major responsibility to determine the sex of my child. I have read a lot of things whereby they'll say, they'll do some calculations, count some calendars, okay, when you meet with your wife at this day, at this time, this was what will happen. All of those things may not work. But the understanding is this, that, okay, whether you give me a male child or a female child,
I need a child.
Exactly. I'm ready to take care of this child to an extent at which the child becomes whoever you want to be in the future. We have females that are presidents today, we have females that are heads today, they are leaders of so many great things.
Yes.
That's the understanding. Let me give you an instance. Personally, let me shock you. I have 3 wonderful children.
Yes, I know.
And they are all boys.
I know.
And you are looking for girls.
What is this? So I am and we have some people that they are just girls.
Just girls, yes.
They're happy.
The clitoris was just a girl. That's what I wanted to say now. The clitoris is where we are. It's things like this mentality that we have. That if we have a female child, to us is a problem. We devote all our time to mourn over that. Instead of going out there to go and work to fend for these girls and make something good out of them.
Okay, yeah.
But Obama, 2 girls.
Yeah, 2
girls. He's very proud of the 2 girls. But we in Africa, if he was an African man, he would have married all the women in the world.
Looking for a male child.
Because they have the understanding we're talking about.
Okay. All right, quickly, because of time, let me just try and cap what we have talked about. Now, I deliberately brought this, I saw it online and I brought it back for us to discuss because we have to continue talking about it because this is actually causing problems in a lot of homes. We all know that. I'm a typical example. Until I had a male child, you know, it was a bit shaky. Not because my husband was shaky, but when you marry in Africa, you don't just marry the man, you marry the family. And when I had that boy, my mother-in-law said, hey, now you sit down. You know, so that is the reality for a lot of women. I'm not trying to be funny. It is some women's reality. So the new generation of women that we have now who are going to become mother-in-laws in the very nearest future, please let us begin to understand that your son's wife has girls doesn't make her less of a woman. It is not a problem. There are people who are looking for one child, any child, and they don't have, and you have so much. Let's be grateful. All right, let's go to the feedback platforms. Mazi Obioha is here. He said, for God created them all, male and female.